I dated one seriously, but others I just went on dates with. And oh my God, they had that same kind of attitude. Been single for years, has his career. That's what he's focused on. He does not care about any kind of serious relationship, right? That's Atlanta man.
But you just tapped on it. They know they're the prize. Like
what do you mean they know
No, they're not the prize. They're delusional.
They think they know that they're the prize. But
you know what the funniest thing about so many men is nowadays? So many men are no longer scared of being single. They're now scared of being in a soul-sucking, detrimental relationship that's only going to waste their time, waste their energy, waste their effort, and waste their money. They would rather be single than be in a bad relationship. So it's not that men are complaining because they're single. Men are complaining because they've just seen everything as such a waste of time for them lately.
I hate to break this to you, but from my experience, when you have healed, nobody's going to look good anymore. Like, you gonna be in a whole, like, I don't think anybody's gonna look good to you anymore. But it's gonna take a while for you to get around to, you know, letting somebody in your life. But it's like, you're gonna realize a lot of people just don't make good partners. And they just out here.
To be honest, like, I choose to be alone. I feel like a lot of people don't have enough alone time and enjoy their own self-company because they feel like they need a friend or they need a cousin or they need somebody around. That's why a lot of people not traveling. That's why a lot of people not taking trips because they feel like they need somebody, that they can't do it alone. You gotta understand, gang, certain shit in life, you gonna have to do this shit alone. Everybody not gonna be on the elevator to take their ride with you.
You guys, men are choosing themselves this year. No one is tolerating my bullshit, and it's stressing me out. It's stressing me out because who gave them the rundown? Who gave them the rundown? Where's the effort? Where's the effort? Like, why is no one begging me? Where's how dare you know your worth? Like, what? I don't know. This was not in my bingo cards of 2025. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not in my cards.
Man, there are a lot of men and women that feel like, man, their chances at dating are doomed. Man, in that clip, man, you hear conversations about why men are not interested, why the modern man is not interested in the modern woman. Is this by coincidence? Is this gonna result in catastrophic failure? See, what you don't realize is this is the alignment, and the alignment is right on time. Virtue has always been the prize. Let's talk about it. All praise to the Most High Yah Shalom. Thank you for tuning in to another Righteous Spirit-filled episode. Today I'm back at it in them trenches, handling that kingdom business. Man, first and foremost, man, I want to give a shout out to Immortal Minds Conversations with Soul on YouTube. You know, man, my brother extracted this clip from the depths of the internet and added a good amount of flavor to it. And I'm simply gonna take that same clip and I'm gonna put some biblical season on it, because, man, as ambassadors of the Most High Yahweh, man, we're the salt of the earth, and salt adds flavor. But before I get into this, I want to ask you a couple questions to show you that some of these sisters that are flabbergasted with the environment of dating and courting, you know, I'll ask you these simple questions to show how far off the path you may be. Question number 1. When has virtue not been the prize? Let that marinate. Question number 2. Whoever said a virtuous woman is common? Question number 3. Have men gone crazy for not dating and courting, or are they getting into proper alignment? And lastly, number 4. If something is deemed precious and valuable, it's usually is hard to find and not easily obtained, right? Man, those 4 questions are the basis of how I'm going to expound upon this clip. See, biblically, man, there's nothing new under the sun. And right now, man, there is the majority of these single women that don't realize there is an aligning going on. And there is a remnant of sisters out here that will get into proper alignment based upon the conditions, based upon the environment. The majority of a lot of these single women out here who won't get in alignment will continue to go further off the course. Man, when you think about why you take your vehicle to go get an alignment, man, that is to straighten the path. You know, far too many men have suffered the expense of thinking, man, this is a helpmeet, and they get the complete opposite and their life is derailed. Man, imagine if you took your car in for an alignment because the steering wheel was crooked, and then the car has a desire to pull to the left. Man, the book says straight and narrow is the path. Few be there that find it. Imagine if you paid your good hard-earned money for a vehicle alignment, and soon as you pulled out, your car is so far out of tolerance, out of balance, out of alignment, that it dang near want to bust a U-turn. Far too many men have found themselves in that situation dealing with the average woman. You know, and the reason I say the alignment is right on time, man, it takes, depending on how intricate the statistics, man, sometimes it may take 50 years to show a measurable gain or a measurable loss. And if you look at marriage in the 1970s compared to marriage in 2020s, man, it took approximately 50 years for women to acknowledge the conversation of something ain't right. Man, out of those women that are acknowledging something is off, something is way out of whack, I told you only a remnant will be in proper alignment and be the solution to the problem, while the rest continue to get further out of alignment. And there's nothing anybody can do until women understand the assignment. Man, there's oftentimes a lot of things that we want, But the things that we get the most fulfillment out of in life is the wants that we really got to work for. Man, you have the average woman walking around. You've got 7 out of 10 women walking around single, believing, it is their belief that they are entitled, deserving of having a man, of having a high value man. And when I say high value, I'm not talking about a worldly sense about how much he makes. I'm talking about a man that fears the Most High Yah and keeps the commandments. Because the book says that's the whole purpose of man. Out of that, you have very few that are willing to actually do the work for what they want. Man, when you overvalue yourself as a woman, and it's beyond, well beyond knowing your worth. Man, I've said this time and time before. You know, the greatest trophies, the trophies that mean the most in life are earned. If something's valuable, precious, and rare, man, that means it's hard to find. You think about precious metals and the manpower, the machinery required in order to extract it. It's not common. Man, let me get into this word so you understand. Man, if you are a daughter of Zion, man, I don't want you getting further out of alignment because you missed the mark in seeing that, okay, this is the time of alignment. For the majority that want to operate in delusion, I can't help them. But you might be the difference. Man, when we look at the Apocrypha, which used to be in the Bible until about 1885, and we're looking at the book of wisdom, chapter 4, around verse 2. Man, I want you to hear how concrete this is. Virtue provides an example for people to follow. When it is not there, they miss it. It has always been the finest prize a person can win. And it always will be so. It is the noblest of all good qualities a person can have. Let me ask you again. When has virtue not been the prize? Man, the minute you take virtue off the shelf and try to replace it with a body, with good looks, with vanity, with rebellion, with education, with career success, man, you've moved yourself out of alignment. Everything I just named were bonuses that a man might be lucky to obtain in a woman that already has virtue. Man, you can have all of those things that I just named, put yourself on a shelf and constantly collect dust. You know, the men that want to fornicate with you, be sexually immoral, man, they'll pick you up. You've ever been in a store, man, where people are stealing and you can see the evidence because there's open packages? That's how men will do you when you don't have virtue. You know, but the man that comes along and is serious and knows what he's looking for, man, when he's shopping, he's like, man, I'm not looking for booty. I'm not looking for freaky. I'm not looking for ratchet. I'm not looking for uncooperative. I'm not looking for delusional. I'm not looking for sexy. Man, that's a man that's shopping with intention. And I don't give a dang if he's got to go through every aisle in the store to find it. It's kind of like when you're in the store and you know they carry something, but it's going to take some work for you to find it. Man, when that man finds it, virtue, the virtuous woman, he's not worried about how long it took him to find it because the time was worthwhile. It was well spent. Man, far too many men have had their time wasted. Far too many men have been thrown further out of balance and alignment from choosing the common woman who thought she was the prize. Let's keep going. Proverbs chapter 31, verse 3. Do not give your strength to women, your ways to those who destroy kings. Man, there is a decline statistically in men signing up for marriage. And what that means is men aren't getting down on one knee. Men aren't giving women an opportunity at being wives. This is why you have that clip that I played. Man, when you enter into a state-issued marriage license, you're entering into a contract with the state, not a covenant with the Most High Yah. Due to how out of balance these contracts are, men are saying, I'm not signing up for that. And it's going to come a time to where if you're not willing to hearken to the agreement that a man comes up with apart from the state, you're going to miss out on your opportunity. It's coming to that point because so many men have given their strength over to women by entering into these contracts, and the Most High Yah says that we are not to enter into a contract with the inhabitants of this land. So many women have had men by the balls, and they think there will be no consequences. We're in the time of alignment. Proverbs chapter 31, verse 10. We're going to read through 12. An excellent woman, one who is spiritual, capable, intelligent, and virtuous. Intelligent doesn't mean educated. Who is he who can find her? That's a question. Her value is more precious than jewels, and her worth is far above rubies or pearls. Man, finding a virtuous woman is not like going to a beauty supply store where they got wigs and weaves and picking up some of them cubic zirconium earrings. No, that doesn't take any work. Finding rubies and pearls, when you think about how pearls are extracted, man, that takes some work. The heart of her husband trusts in her. Man, how can the modern man trust in you if your actions of being unaccountable have proven untrustworthy? If you are on the side of contentious and rebellious against the man, how is he supposed to trust in you? The heart of her husband trusts in her with secure confidence, and he will have no lack of gain. She comforts, encourages, and does him only good and not evil all the days of her life. This is why virtue is rare. finding a virtuous woman is rare. You know, biblically, man, when the preacher looked amongst 1,000 people, he only found one righteous man. And out of 1,000, he found no righteous women. That goes to show you how rare I'm talking about. You know, if there's only one man per 1,000 counted as righteous and no women, how many thousands is it going to take to find a virtuous woman? Genesis chapter 2, verse 18. Now the Lord Yah said, it is not good, beneficial for the man to be alone. I will make him a helper, one who balances him, a counterpart who is suitable and complementary for him. Man, what man that's already out of balance according to the will of the Most High Yah will sign up for a woman who thinks that she is the prize only to be further out of balance? And the Most High Yah hates a false balance. When you think about complementary, man, we are in a daytime and hour where the expectation of women is they want a man complimentary for them. And that's contrary to the word. Man, for all of the women out there that desire marriage, you know, we are in a time of alignment where the data is already in. Those 50 years, 10-year increments of statistics being recorded, analyzed, put out there for you to be able to examine. Man, they're here. And like I said in the beginning, you have a majority of the single women who are expecting and feeling entitled and want marriage will never get it. They won't get it in the way that they want. But you do have a remnant of the daughters of Zion that will hearken to what I'm saying, will get in proper alignment, and they will prosper in marriage, in relationships. And that is, you know, truly who this message is for. It's not for 7 out of 10 women. It's not for 9 out of 10 women. When something is rare, you know, it's not common. So this message is for the 1 out of 2,000, the 1 out of 10,000, as rare as that sounds. I'll tell you this, though. Even though I'm not a gambling man, you know, man, finding a virtuous woman is not an easy task. But if you are diligent in discerning and seeking out the Most High Yah in his way, man, you got a better chance in your lifetime as a man of finding a virtuous woman than you do winning the lottery. Think about what I just said. Closer to Yah Ministries, kicking it gun barrel straight.